Previously on Dr. Nellie Kangwa TV.
Today we are discussing real men conversations. Yes, real men conversations.
So this whole issue about vision for a man is very critical. And I really need to sentence that into every man's brain. You need to open your eyes beyond just you seeing a girl in a short skirt. The world is waiting to partake of your wisdom. Your children are waiting to partake of your wisdom. Vision is very important. You are a king with a vision. We are getting to the next point. Okay, so what is the next point? When this man was delegated and given the garden, the next thing is that this man is a warrior. This man is a warrior because he was told to protect the garden. A man's second pillar is warrior, but I'm going to add another word, tender warrior. You need to be a security guard, for lack of a better way of putting it, but tender. This man was told nothing should go wrong in this garden. And so that's a pillar that holds a man, or what manifests manhood in a man. We are talking conversations here. We are talking real men conversations. Are you a tender warrior? Now, I quoted something there. When Eve partook of the fruit, she gave to her husband who was with her. And the husband did not question. He just partook. He was with her, but not present. Do you know one thing that you men must learn? Now, let me speak from a woman's point of view. Maybe I'm answering one woman out there. Do you know many of you don't understand emotional presence? Many of you think being present is for you to roll in the house. When you arrive, you are rolling. The man has come. Children must scamper for their lives. No. That is not being a tender warrior. Being protective doesn't mean you need to be possessive. Being protective doesn't mean you need to be checking your wife. Oh, who are you talking to? What time are you knocking off? Hey, and who's that guy? Oh, this meeting hasn't ended yet. Oh, this. Hello. If you married a career woman, you need now to have an understanding. How far do you want her to go? Because being a tender warrior, watch this. Being a tender warrior has to do with you now. Apart from you paying attention to your vision, you need now to look at the vision of this person that you have brought in your life. How protective are you to her vision? How protective are you to her purpose? Are you, when you, watch this, you know when there's that aisle, when the father is holding the daughter and he hands over, watch this. This man, the father who loves genuinely, he loves genuinely his daughter. He hands over. He lets go of this girl child and gives her to you. How protective are you to her purpose? I'm not talking about jealous. I'm talking about being possessive. That is low self-esteem. When you see a man who is too possessive, too jealousy, that is not what I'm talking about here. It's about you providing direction. How far she must go in education, what it is that she needs to do. So you must actually probe into this woman's vision. You know why you're doing that? Because yours is detailed. You know why you're doing this? Because you already know where you're going. So you want to bring this woman as a stakeholder. Dude, she can bring you down if you don't uplift her. This I can assure you and can warn you from a woman's point of view. I'm giving it to you for free. You want to live long. You want to live long. Have your vision well defined. But remember, when you bring another being into your life, you need to ensure that you actually watch out to make sure that there is no serpent that is whispering. There is no serpent that is speaking to her to misdirect her. And when I'm saying a serpent whispering to, I'm not talking about another man. I'm talking about there's so many things a woman goes through. Do you know that when a woman gets pregnant and she's in labor, she goes through temporal insanity? Do you know those are voices that may actually shut down her future? Can shut down her purpose, because everything about her will be about children. Do you know prevention of her listening to other voices also goes with you when you come from work, not to spend time just watching TV, reading newspaper, doing whatever, having it all easy, playing golf and whatever, but paying attention to unspoken words. You are paying attention, because sometimes a woman will say something when she meets something different. Well, there's been conversations in a men's group to say, why can't she just say it? Well, I'm introducing to you a woman. I'm showing you how you need to also understand that she may not tell you what she actually means. Okay, if she's going one direction, she'll start from the other direction. It's a package. You have to get it. It's a package. So all you have to know is how you can probe and bring out the unspoken words. That is why there are times you just need to look straight into her eyes and you'll be able to know, is she happy or not? You can read. That is being a tender warrior, ensuring that she doesn't lose herself. There are several things other than you being suspicious. There are several things you need to watch out for. So when you were marrying her, she told you she wants to be a CEO. When you were marrying her, she told you that she wants to start this business. How protective are you for her to continue what she said she wants to do? What is it that you're doing? That is being a tender warrior. Being a tender warrior is watching out for her spiritual growth, ensuring that she remains in prayer. So you found, I remember when I asked my husband, what is it that attracted you? There's so many beautiful girls in the choir. We were in the choir at North Mid Assemblies of God. And I asked him because, my dressing was not really up to date. There were girls who were dressing, There were girls who had voices when they get a microphone. Woo, 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 woo. And I'm like, why didn't you propose these ones? You know what he said? He said, when he looked at me, the love that I had for God, which I still have, that's the attraction. He was attracted to the way I loved God. That was his attraction. Now imagine 20 years down the line, we are now 27 years in marriage. Imagine 27 years down the line, I no longer have that love for God. Do you know what he should be doing? He should be helping to protect that which he saw. He should direct me because he's my priest. Come on. Remember I told you, this thing is beyond you being called boy child. This thing is beyond you, being called you the man. Can't you see I'm the man of the house? Can't you see I'm... No, we know by your structure. So we shouldn't be arguing. It shouldn't even be an emphasis. We shouldn't be talking about it because, when we undress, we know you are a man. So if you are bringing it out as a topic, probably something has changed. So it's, okay, this is a lovely topic. I love it. You asked for it. I've been talking about women, but you asked that I need to address men. So let's talk about it. So yes, you've been pronounced a man. There is more to this. The fact that she's submitting she doesn't submit. There's respect. Now watch this. As I'm bringing this, I have my own time when I'm shooting a woman. Let me do some shooting on you as a man, and I'm going to build you again. You want a woman to respect you. To respect what? What have you brought to the table that she needs to start respecting? You demanding respect. Do you know that respect is earned? Do you know that by the way you've positioned yourself, There's going to be a standard. Do you see a commander or a general, telling the sergeants, you need to respect me, you need to salute? No, by the position they've earned, it is automatic. So if there are issues of disrespect in your home, we've got some doubt to deal with your leadership. We need to look at your leadership. We need to look at your vision. We need to look at certain things that aren't going well. And so that security man, that warrior in you must be well defined. Or she doesn't submit. Submission. There is supposed to be a mission. That is what she must sub to. Is it there? Is it well explained? Remember, it is not by, I'll keep repeating this, it is not what your mother saw to shout, you are the boy. There is more to this. Being a warrior, it is where you've got yourself so well protected. Your mind is well protected. Because how can you protect me as a woman when you can't protect your mind? How can you protect me as a woman when you cannot protect yourself? You are not in charge of your heart. You are not in charge of decision making. You are just, hitting everywhere, sleeping with anything that is in a skirt, doing anything. Say, it doesn't respect me. Really? Because when a woman looks at you and the way you make decisions, she has nothing to respect. And she starts losing that. If anything, she doesn't lose it. You lose yourself. You lose your position by you not being a warrior to yourself, protecting your mind. Girls will come and go. Beautiful girls will come and go. Stay with what you chose. Improve what you have. If someone was telling me, oh, yes, she has put on too much weight. Really? Isn't you who made her pregnant? Did she come on the scene with dropped breasts? Did she come on the scene with baby fat? Isn't the seed that came out of you that disfigured her body? So you better start gymming together with her, because you cannot give it as an excuse. Be protective to your wife who has put on your weight. She's losing herself. She had temporal insanity, pushing out those children. Do you know there are times when I'm doing coaching and I'm getting personal here? I would love 1 minute for God to introduce labor to a man. Just 1 minute. Maybe they will respect the woman a little more. But anyway, let's go. Warrior has to do with you first being a warrior for yourself. Do you know if you feel whoever you've put as a security person is not even protective enough, when you look at them, maybe they are sleeping, maybe they are out of, duty and all that. Do you know that you're going to be scared? This is why you see a woman guarding herself. She's guarded her mind, she's guarded her life, because she can't actually trust you with her heart. The last time she tried to hand it over to you, you broke it. So now, like many women say, they give men photocopy of the heart. They keep the original because there's been breaking and all that. So what am I saying? Being a tender warrior begins with you. Protect your mind. Protect what defined you to be a man. When they shouted, boy child, be in charge of what they shouted for. Be in charge. Be protective. You can't go anywhere, anyhow. You can dip anywhere, anyhow. You've got to have some respect. Respect self. That is being a warrior. It has to do with you actually protecting yourself. Because it's only when you protect yourself will your wife have that confidence that I'm actually under heavy protection here. There is that looking up to. That is how a woman will look up to you, because she knows you will protect her. Children, you have no idea. These children pick a lot. They may be 3 years, 4 years. Well, be very careful. Do you know most of the things I teach today, I picked them up when I was young. There's so many things that I can remember at the age of 4, 5. So many things. So some of you say, oh, this is just a child. They watch you. What time you leave home, what time you come back home, how you treat your wife, just your mannerisms, what is good. They watch. They see what you do. You are just this serious person who doesn't socialize, who doesn't talk. Well, it's being a tender warrior. Sometimes it's for you to bring yourself to that place where you can talk to your teenage boy. Your teenage boy will tell you, Dad, I'm struggling with masturbation. You bring yourself to his edge and you can get down and say, dude, I went through a similar problem and this is how I solved it. This is what happened. You don't just act up like you grew up to that stage, like you are all in charge. No. Sometimes being a tender warrior is when you step down, because the moment you step down and you are able to release yourself into that teenage boy, that teenage boy will open his soul and you will penetrate his soul and you're going to give him assurance. You will show him the right way to say, okay, this happens to every boy. What was going on has also happened to me. That is being a tender warrior. Another joke, I remember when I was telling, my husband, I'm like, oh, you better teach these boys how to pee. Just even peeing, how to steady the pee. Because I don't know how it is done. So I can be mommy, but I don't know how to help him position. So I would tell daddy to say, please, can you coach your friends because you are created the same way. So you've got more to this than you being pronounced boy child. There's several things. So do not be an absentee man. There's more that is required by you being this tender warrior. There's more to this. Which brings me to the third pillar. That's what we are getting to. Third pillar. The third pillar is just by you being pronounced boy child, automatically, I'm telling you this, automatically you are a mentor. They look up to you. I remember even in my home, even me, mommy, there are certain things which I really depend on my son. There are certain things I'll say, oh, I think Lumbanya would know. I think Joshua would know. The boys. There's just this intrinsic, wisdom that God has put on you as a man. There's a way in which you know certain things. Today, my son took the car for servicing and whatever. He was fidgeting. Yesterday, he came, in the night, he was busy. I don't know what he was doing with the car. He even got a blower, hair blower. He was asking me about my hair blower. I'm like, what is it for? I saw him putting things. The next thing is using my hair blower for the car. Whatever he was doing, because it's a hair blower, whatever he was doing with it, I don't know. I'm talking about mentorship. He's young, but you could see the way he's in charge. He knows certain things, just as a boy child. Even the sister who's older, asks him for certain things. There's just this inherent leadership that you have. You get to know a little more. Look at maybe soccer or football. You know names of the players. You know what? People are expecting you to pass on information. So that goes with the social life. That goes with spiritual things. Somehow, can I shock you today? If you are married, can I shock you today? Your wife actually believes that you must know everything. So when she's asking you, stop answering, I don't know. Okay? Somehow give a lame excuse, then go and research. Go and research, because this I don't know irritates women. This I don't know irritates your children. Never should you even say, I don't have. When your son comes to you, your daughter comes to you, this you need to grow up knowing and understanding. So if I'm speaking, you're not yet married, I'm stretching you, because this is where you are heading to. One day, you will pass on that name. One day, you will release that seed out of you, and it will bring about another life. So there's nothing like I don't have. Somehow, you must have. If you don't have at that particular time, you must just tell your son, your daughter, all right, I've heard, I'll get back to you. Because as far as a child is concerned, daddy has. You are a mentor. You must know. So when your son comes, Daddy, how about this? Don't say, I don't know. No, you must know. You must know somehow. So do not reduce your leadership by your answers. Some of you have actually given up your power because today you are asked, you don't know. Tomorrow you are asked, you don't know. The other day, they won't ask you. Then you'll be wondering why they're asking mommy. They're asking mommy for everything because the few times they've tried to engage with you, you're too busy, or you don't know, or you're not just interested to have conversations. So mentorship is important. Let me break it down. Mentorship starts by you creating an altar in your home. Your children must know that you've got that family time. As a mentor, lead by example. Be the one to create, Bible study. Be the one to create that conversation. Put family in order and say, no phones during dinner. It should come from you, dude. It should come from you. Mentorship. It is where you provide leadership. You provide lessons. This is why Eve was saying, we were taught not to touch the fruit. Is that what God really said? And I don't know. Maybe Adam did not pass on the information, because if you repeatedly pass information, everybody will remember. This is what we stand for in this home. This is what we stand for. This I'm giving as an example from a girl-child point of view and also from a wife's point of view. I've seen a lot of things that have taken shape in my home because my husband has emphasized. My dad, I remember, my dad would tell me to say, okay, if you memorize so many verses, I'm going to pay you so much money. Do you know that time I didn't know that was mentorship? I was thinking he was just giving me money to buy, fat cakes or fritters. Because every time he gave me money, I used to buy these, scones or fritters from a certain lady that used to make them. So for me, reading the Bible was equal to being paid. Memorizing was equal to being paid. Little did I know that my daddy was mentoring me. My daddy saw the gift inside of me. He saw the grace of God inside of me. And he came up with some childlike mentorship. So he broke down. He came down to my level. He did not tell me, you're a woman of God, so this is how you're supposed to behave. No. He told me, Nellie, if you memorize a chapter, it's equal to this much. So I was spending time reading the Bible because he saw the gift inside of me. So he provided mentorship according to my age. It's all in you as a man. That's a pillar, the unique pillar that you've been given. This is why you wonder, why did God ask the man when the one who messed up in this thing was actually the woman? But you see what? At this particular time, before I actually forget to conclude that one, the woman also blamed the devil. It's not me, because she learned it from the best teacher to pass on the blame. And so she passed on to the devil, and the devil took ownership. The devil took responsibility. He did not pass it on to anybody. That is how power was given to him. That is how power was given to the enemy. So taking back your power, it is when you have knowledge to pass on. Taking back your power, it is when you arise to be that mentor who is respected. So being respected, it's when you are providing standard of lives, livelihood, values. You've created values. There is I remember in our home that me and my house, I remember that, photo, me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. Jesus is a silent listener, something like that. Jesus is a silent listener. There were all these things that were, values in our home. There were values. And it was Dad who was a mentor. Every man, listen to me, you need to grow up into a mentor. So stop living a life as though you are alone. Even when you are alone, even when you are young, you need to start positioning yourself to be responsible, because there's going to be lives that will be looking up to you. So you better start now. If you're not yet married, start now being responsible. If you're not yet married, start now taking responsibility and being that mentor. Start mentoring your sister. My brother was very protective. That time I didn't like it because he would do some blows on me. He would beat me a little bit. But you know what? He didn't know probably how best to protect me. So he would like, oh, don't even laugh. When you're talking to a man, if you laugh, he impregnates you. Well, somehow I believed. So I was really like, this zombie. If I laugh, my brother told me you can give me the pregnancy. Okay, yeah. It worked, yeah. It worked. But he was very protective. He probably didn't just know how best to actually mentor my life, but there was a way in which my older brother really tried. Even at school, he was going, at Kitwe Boys Secondary School. I was at Helen Kaunda. These schools had just a wire fence in between. My brother saw me at 10, saw me over lunch. He created certain ways that, okay, that time I was angry about them because I kept his lunch boxes. So he always wanted to come and eat, from my lunch boxes. Don't associate with these girls. They'll change your values. What. He really tried, because some of my friends actually got pregnant in grade 9. But where could I find that man? Where can he even impregnate me when my brother was my mentor? If you know what I'm saying. He was guarding me. He was protecting me. Today, do you know, it surprises me that some of you young boys, you go with your sister and your sister is having sex with your friend. Which planet F are you coming? Not our brothers. Our brothers will beat the hell out of you, not by sleeping with a boy, by talking to him. Just talking to him. They'll mess you up. That is the kind of upbringing I came out from. Probably this is why we still kept, a lot of things. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for my brother. It's mentorship. Just as a little brother, he had some values of leadership to guide me, to lead me as a mentor, to show me. I remember one day when he beat me up, I was crying. He said, so what are you crying? Is it because you beat him? He said, oh, I didn't beat you. Okay, the world is so stubborn. The world is bad. You are not going to use those emotions. You won't manage to become. These little emotions, I need to beat them out of you, because you cannot manage to become what you need to become, because you've got these little moods. You wake up one morning, you're not talking. What the hell is this? He was providing mentorship, though it was really not good. But now when I look back, I really appreciate, because all emotions were beaten out. You really have to do something crazy big from under the pit of hell for me to wake up with a mood. Nah, my brother beat moods out of me. What am I saying? As a boy child, he already was a mentor, and he was providing that mentorship to me as a sister. This is just natural. So if you're not married, you're a young man, please begin training. I tell my brother, my boys, at home, my children, even when it comes to their sister, I tell them, open her door. She's not going to enter if you don't open the door. Learning some mannerisms, serve her. Those things that, just for him to be a gentleman. She can't open the gate. If there are two of them in the car, he's the one driving. Dude, you better walk out of that driving seat. You've got to go and open the gate. Those are things. They're little, they look small, but let me tell you, this I believe. My daughters-in-law, the ones who marry my sons, will be very happy, because there's a way in which we have, added value to them, and we have, brought them into leaders of integrity. Yes, so that is about mentorship. And yeah, so getting to the final one. Okay, so the fourth thing, when we are talking about real men conversations, this is the final thing, and it's the fourth thing. It is the pillar of friendship. You know what? So this man is just having a great time in the Garden of Eden. And then this is how I just think. God is looking at this man, is like, something is not right here. He says, it is not good for man to be alone. I'll make him a helper. It is very important. Now, this has nothing at this point. It has nothing to do with a helper called a wife. It has everything to do with a man needing somebody, needing a friend, needing somebody in his life. As you are growing up as a young man, as you're growing up, you're married, you need to know that you need to carry that posture of needing other people. You can't exist alone. This is why it is very important the moment you discover your garden, when he is saying, I'll make him a helper, meaning you need to really be very selective, because it's not everyone who is walking in your life who will help you. It has to do with you managing your garden, and then there's a helper that is suitable to suit the things that you are doing. This is why you can't walk about all straighten up. You can't walk about all being so logical and so focused and so me and me and me and me. You need to know in life, you need to actually break those walls in order for you to allow other people. This is actually one indication. When a young girl comes to me and asks me to say, oh, this is a guy that has fallen in love with her, one thing I ask that girl is, who does he look up to? Who is that voice of reason? Who is the shut up voice in his life? Because if a man lacks somebody who speaks into his life, or somebody who he should listen to, a shut up voice in his life, is a dangerous man. He is a dangerous man. It is very important for every man to understand that you need certain people in your life that will enhance. So when I'm talking about, a pillar of friendship, I am not talking about just having friends that you hang around with. And some of the friends are friends that actually teach you some bad manners. I'm talking about inspirational friends. I'm talking about friends that when they walk in your life, they add some value. It is friends who lead you into your greatness. It's friends where you discuss things like, what if we started a company? Okay, if we go together, maybe at university, and you have these friends in your life. It could be a girlfriend, not intimate girlfriend. I'm talking about just a friend. And you say, you know what? You've got strength in this area. I have strength in this area. If we go together, we can actually start a company. Do you see that even when you interview these wealthy people, they started with friends? Talk of the founders of Facebook. Talk of the founders of my lovely laptop here. They were in the presence of friends. Friendship is a strong pillar that holds a man to greatness. Great friendship, I'm talking about good relationships. I'm talking about good friends. They add so much value in your life. Do you know that even Jesus, he could not take himself to his destiny or to his purpose or to fulfill his purpose? He needed some John the Baptist along the way. He needed them. And then as he was baptized, and John the Baptist did some work for him, because he could not exalt himself. He could not become a leader by himself. He needed certain people in his life called the disciples, as they surrounded his life. But you need to watch when you are getting these friends, because this pillar is very important. When you are getting these friends, you need to actually demarcate the friendship. There are levels of friendship. Let's pick the same example of Jesus. He had levels of friendship. Let me break them down. He had the multitudes. And you know what? The multitudes, he used to express himself, in a very, very lovely way, because he would now give out to the multitudes. In your life, as a man, you need to learn to have that community mind. You need to be a giver. I have met a lot of women who were okay before they got married. The moment they got married, this man stops any relative to walk into their house. He puts some rules around. She cannot relate with friends. She cannot bring her young sister in the house. She cannot what. No. As a man, you need to have this pillar of friendship. And you need to relate with the multitudes. Jesus related with the multitudes. He broke the fish and the bread and gave to the multitudes. They are the ones that he gave out to. The pillar of friendship has to do with you giving out. That is the first layer of friendship, where people must look up to you. People must come into your space to learn something. That's a pillar of friendship. You need to be so open to give out your wisdom. You need to be so open to pass on information to other people other than your relatives, other than your children. Who is looking up to you? Pillar of friendship. The pillar of friendship has got another layer of friendship. And when you look at the same example, Jesus had the 12 people in his life. These were buddies. These were people whom he was hanging around with. These were people he was passing on certain level of information. And this certain level of information was not passed on to the multitudes. It's another layer. This can be people that you are directly mentoring. If you are working at work, who is it that you are raising? Are you a role model for any person? Can somebody say, you know what, if it was not for that man, I wouldn't be where I am. That is a pillar of friendship in you. You need to draw some 12. They may not be 12. 12 is just a number. These are people that you literally pay attention to. You actually develop even lessons for them. You gather them. Come on. We have a lot of women conferences. We have a lot of women mentorship groups. Do you know that we have very, very, very little men's mentorship groups? Very, very little. And so you see that because most of the men who have gained some wisdom, they don't want to pass on that information. They don't want to mentor other young boys. We are in a generation of a fatherless generation because there is no role model of a father, a role model of somebody who can actually pass on that information. And with this information, it is where you are so strategic in where you are giving or the way you are passing the information to the 12. The other multitude is here and there. You just have to just be a giver here and there. But for the 12, you have to be specific. So if I had to ask you, who are you looking after? Even nephews, do they look up to you? In your family? Are you deliberate in actually releasing yourself up, to these nephews or to your niece? It's very important to get the 12 and be deliberate by you aligning yourself to their vision and helping them to develop their vision to the other level. Well, watch this layer of friendship. At one point when they were in the Garden of Gethsemane, when you read in the book of Luke, especially Luke puts it very, very well. Luke becomes very basic because I think he was speaking to the Gentiles. So he really brought it home. And at one point, he separates and he leaves the 8. Remember, Judas is not here at this particular time. So he leaves, so he had 12. But amongst the 12, he still cut a layer out of the 12 and he separated from the 8 and he went with a 3. In this category of friends, you know what? You cannot release yourself to every person out there. You cannot just keep giving yourself. You need some trustworthy people, inspirational friends around your life. And for the 3, watch what Jesus did. He actually opened up his pain. He said, you know what? Can you watch with me? Can you not just go to sleep and just be awake for a while? My heart is in pain. This is where he shared part of his secrets. These are confidants. You can't be an island. You can't think you have it all together. You need to have somebody whom later on your wife can call and say, have you seen your friend? Somebody, a friend that builds you, a friend that you can just, open up to. You can share with a friend, I've got issues with my erections. You can share with your friend. You can do that with such type of friends. He's a confidant, so you can open up some places. But this is a final layer of friendship, a pillar of friendship. When Jesus separated from everybody, he looked up There has to be people you look up to. This is why from time to time, Jesus looked up to the Father. He related to his Father, the mentor, at another level. This is where he opened up. He was naked. He was empty. Any man who has no voice of reason in his life, any man who has nobody he looks up to, is a dangerous person. You need a shut up voice in your life as a man. This is a final pillar that every man must have. And when you draw even your wife in your space, please, you don't lose it by you just being a friend to that woman. You can't all be just a leader. You can't all just be a disciplinarian. You can't all just be there. Drop down your guard and just play. Play with your boy child. Play with your girl child. Do some hide and seek. You're not losing anything. That is a time you may probably even get to know what is really happening. When you lower yourself deliberately, you just bring yourself down in order for you to know what is really going on. These 4 pillars are very, very important. They are pillars for manhood. You are a king, and it has to do with provision. You need to provide vision. You are a tender warrior. That is the second pillar. You need to raise your antenna. First, guard yourself. Gird the loins of your mind. Gird that which pronounces you to be a boy child. That which your mother saw that you are a boy child needs to be protected before you can stretch your protection to other people in your life. The third pillar is the pillar of a teacher, is the pillar of a mentor. You are naturally a leader. You are naturally a mentor as a man. Society is looking up to you. People are looking up to you. When you actually release the seed out of you, you are creating another generation. They are all looking up to you. They should dare not just carry on your surname without you providing some values and things that they must follow through as you are building that legacy. And the final one is the pillar of friendship. You are not an island. And please, you need to understand the different layers of friendship that you need to actually have in your life in order for you to be that real man. Thank you so much. Shalom, shalom.